What's going on, guys? Welcome to Gotti's Corner episode 4. This is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, we've invested some more cash into the Xbox ecosystem. This is for my oldest son. I offered to get my youngest son one. He didn't want one. He wants a PC. Clearly, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon unless I get him a pre-built. I'd much rather build him one. So he didn't even want one. I would have gotten them both Series X's, but hard to find. But I was able to snatch this up 3 or 4 days ago on the Microsoft store. Now, he's a huge Resident Evil fan, am I right?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for him to be able to experience the new Resident Evil this weekend, actually, at 60 FPS. I'm super excited for him to be able to enjoy those. I just seen where they added several Assassin's Creed, including the Ezio collection, at 60 FPS with the new FPS boost with Xbox. And I think that's super cool. The kid's finally going to be able to experience good frame rates. He's been playing on the Switch and the Xbox One S. So this right here is going to be like a dream come true for him. But you guys have all seen the unboxings. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do one of those real quick. Like I said, I know you guys have seen all the unboxings you can handle. But I want to show like a little side-by-side comparison. Up next to the Series X, so we can see the size difference. And then I'm super curious to see, I want to run this thing through its paces also, because I know what the Series X can do since having it since launch. But I want to run this through its paces and see what it's capable of doing. As far as the 1440p, we know it's not going to hit that all the time. But from the videos that I've been watching, the new Resident Evil tore the box all up. Come on. New Resident Evil runs at 1440 with ray tracing. I saw that it hovers around 45 to 60. So I told him he's going to have to turn ray tracing off in order to be able to get a steady 60, but that's no big deal. I mean, come on, not a big deal at all. But this thing, this thing is tiny. I've never seen one of these in the wild, never held one. I did not know that they were this small. As you can see, that thing is super small. Wow. Did you know that was going to be that small?
No.
Look how small that thing is. It's crazy. Also in the box, what else do we have? Clearly the controller. We're not going to show the cords. I mean, when people do these unboxings and they show the cords, that makes absolutely no sense to me. We all know there's cords in the box. But that's a nice looking Glacier White controller. Got your different D-pad there. See how the D-pad's different on the new controller. So that's cool. And it looks like, no, I was hoping there would have been a code in here for Game Pass Ultimate, but there's not. So I can't give that away. I was hoping to be able to give that away, but right there it is, guys. The Series S. His birthday isn't until August, but you know, I was able to get it now and I wasn't going to make him wait that long. So I want to show you guys a size comparison here in just a second between this and the Series X, which you guys have all seen. I cannot believe how small this thing is, but we'll do a quick, let me unhook my Series X and bring it over here to my desk and we'll do a quick size comparison. So as you guys can see, in comparison next to the Series X, you see the width. This is just mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing how small this thing is. I mean, you could literally fit 2 of these next to the Series X and probably still have a little bit of real estate left. But anyway, right there it is. The Xbox Series S. 6 months later unboxing. You guys have probably seen 1,000 of these. I just thought it'd be pretty cool for this episode of Gotti's Corner to show you this, and I know he's excited. We're gonna get this hooked up and get the Resident Evil demo installed so he can play it. Look at it next to the PS5. It's just Absolutely ridiculous, the size of this thing. But yeah, we're going to get this hooked up. I'll be right back with you guys. We'll finish up with the episode. How's that 60 FPS feel, buddy?
Amazing.
You're not used to that, are you?
No.
Over there we got my youngest son, my little PC guy, who refused a Series X or a Series S. He wants a PC. See him working his keyboard. And I got to admit, guys, this looks really good. From what I take from Digital Foundry's video, it's running at 1440p, solid 60 with ray tracing off. I went ahead and turned that off for him.
Guess this leads to the castle.
But I'm really impressed with the visual fidelity on this little machine. I mean, really impressed. I'd say it looks pretty damn good, don't you, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Kid's little setup here. But as you guys can see, it's just buttery smooth. Add in Game Pass Ultimate. There's going to be a lot of great games we can enjoy co-op together now, buddy.
Nice. Oh.
It looks like one of them, you have two?
No.
Because that one's going to be like a dragon head. You need to find it. Yeah, I'm super impressed. If I were an Xbox gamer only, and this is all I could find, I wouldn't be mad at this. Later on in this episode, I'll add some Series X footage of this so we can kind of compare the two, but overall, I'm really impressed so far with the Series S. You can hear the mechanical keys over there just going crazy. And tell the people why you turned down a new Xbox, buddy.
Because I want a PC.
I can't be mad at you there. As you can see, he plays a lot of Minecraft. He uses the keyboard and mouse on his Xbox One S. Super fluent with it too. I'm pretty impressed. But yeah, this is the kid's setup. Series S, I'm gonna put it through its paces with some of these games that have been updated with FPS boost. I know he will as well. We'll do some future videos updating my final impressions of the machine. But right now, for the price, definitely impressed with what it can do. And that's what it's all about, guys. Seeing the kids happy. That's what it's all about. You remember when you were a kid and how gaming felt when you got a hold of a new system. You got to experience what the new generation had to offer. And he can finally do that with his Series X. And the thing is, it couldn't have came at a more perfect time. He's a huge Resident Evil fan, like I had mentioned earlier. And he's super excited. He ran through the demo already as soon as we got it installed. And playing that at 60 FPS, he's absolutely loving it. He's also a Creed fan, so I scooped him up the Ezio collection. I walked in, he was playing that. I said, "How's it going?" He said, "It's pretty amazing." It's awesome to see these kids, man, when they finally get to play these games.
how they're meant to be played at 60 FPS or higher. And in the Ezio collection, I don't know which one he was playing, which game in the collection, but it actually looked pretty freaking good from what I remember. It's got the HDR, auto HDR, the boost. Supposedly it's remastered. It looked dated, but it still looked good. I can't wait to dive into some great co-op sessions with him. The Master Chief Collection, the Division just got boosted. The Division 2 already ran 60. Just numerous co-op experiences that I'm looking forward to being able to run through with him. So, but yeah, man, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about when it comes to this gaming stuff. It's to see these kids happy and be able to enjoy these games with your kids. As far as the FPS boost, guys, I did a video on it just a couple days ago, but there's a couple things I want to touch on, and it's the resolutions. In my previous video, I had noted that as long as they used, say, the Xbox One versions of these games and boosted the FPS, that would be fine with me. But what I'm noticing is, like with Far Cry 4, they're using like the 1S version or the OG Xbox version. I could be wrong on that part, but I know for sure the 1S versions of these games to get them up to 60. So if I had to guess, I would think that Microsoft is trying to perfect this. I think that they'll get it to where they can maybe run some type of dynamic resolution and still keep that 60, maybe drop some in-game settings, I don't know, but whatever it takes to get the resolutions bumped up, I think will be a big bonus. Now, I'm not knocking the feature. I played Far Cry 5 yesterday for a few minutes. It ran butter smooth on the Series X, but I think it looked like it was probably 1080p. I'll be curious to see what Digital Foundry tells us about that, but I think it was 1080p. And it looked like, I don't know, it was more aliased, had more jaggies, that kind of thing, but still, nonetheless, an awesome feature for Xbox, and I do think that they'll definitely get it perfected. Right now, I'm playing Returnal, guys. Returnal reminds me of old school gaming. A lot of you young cats, a lot of you young new gamers, you don't remember the days of having 3 lives, 5 lives to beat an entire game. If you died, you started from the beginning. That was how games were back then. Especially when you didn't have the battery pack in the Nintendo cartridges to save games. When there was 0 saves, you just played the game, and if you didn't beat it, you were starting back from the beginning. And that's what this reminds me of. There was no spoon feeding of an ending like there is now, but I'm going to probably try to beat that this weekend so I can get on this Resident Evil Village. It looks awesome on the Series X. I freaking came in here and played this first part of the demo. I did notice with ray tracing on, probably some dips into the, I could be wrong, 55, 56 frames. But for the most part, it was a solid 60, so maybe they'll get that fixed with a patch. But what I may end up doing, if they don't, is just turning ray tracing off. I do want to do a comparison to see if there's that much of a difference. I know Digital Foundry, I believe, said that there really wasn't that much of a difference. They said there was, but nothing mind-blowing, and that it did run better with it off. So I may play with it off, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when that comes. But we got a big next couple of months coming, guys, with Resident Evil, Ratchet and Clank, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I've beat all the Mass Effects except for Andromeda because it was dog shit. And the first one. I never beat the first one because the frame rate was so terrible on the Xbox 360 that I could just never beat it. And I wanted to so badly. So definitely be picking that up. But that's really all I got for you guys. I wanted to show you the excitement, which he sounded like he had 0 excitement in the first part of this video, but trust me, man, he's super amped. I wanted you to show that. I kind of wanted to show a little comparison, even though you guys have already seen the size difference in the Series X and the Series S. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Chime off in the comment section. This has been Gotti's Corner, Episode 4, one of the biggest failure shows in all of the crumb side of YouTube. But hey, keep it gaming. I'm going to let you guys go. Chime off in the comment section.